for me now, maintaining that relationship well beyond the transaction is what's important to me, because I love my people. My people are my people. They're very important to me.
When something happens in business or just a situation, especially in business, maybe not in other areas of my life, but especially in business, I am very good at keeping my cool. And like, yes, I do have to vent about things. I do have to, talk things out, whatever. But I'm very good at understanding that the reaction is just not necessary.
Did COVID set us back with that in terms of conversations? Because we went from face-to-face, in-person to digital. Like, we invite co-op agents to come in once in a while to come in and just say, look, thanks for collaborating with our realtor. Have a cup of coffee. And oftentimes we find that the cooperating agent to our listing agent, they hadn't met. Coffee, beans, and real estate. So welcome back to another episode. Thanks for watching. Why coffee, beans, and real estate? One of the first conversations or discussions that I have with somebody new to the business. Apparently we didn't have this conversation, but you guys had experience when you came. Mm-hmm. Coffee, beans. So I want the new to the business to envision themselves running a business. And I try and associate the business as a coffee shop.
Okay.
And what schedules do you have? What coffee do you sell? What market are you trying to reach? What customers what are you trying to do here? Are you selling a Tim Hortons coffee? Are you selling a Starbucks coffee? What kind of coffee are you selling? Because we come out of real estate college with a degree, a diploma, or a business card and says we're realtors, but what are we? We're business people. But we don't associate this business as being business owners. We don't have a schedule. What time do you start? What time do you finish? What coffee do you sell? What do you specialize in? So the first conversation I have with a rookie is coffee beans.
So what would you consider like the highest quality coffee in the city? Because that's our shop.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Each person will have to define what kind of coffee you want to sell.
We're the boutique coffee shop. That's
Bougie.
what we are.
We're boutique.
We're the bougie boutique coffee shop.
Apparently, we're a little bougie. But
yeah.
Take you back to day one when you started? When did you start?
I've been a realtor for 12 and a half years.
And with Supreme?
Not with Supreme. I started with professionals.
Okay.
I moved to Supreme almost 6 years ago now.
At what?
Majority of my career has been with Royal LePage. I started with a brokerage in Mississauga in 2007 or 2008.
What kind of coffee do you like?
2008.
Because we met at a coffee shop.
We did meet at, yes.
Was it Tim Hortons or Starbucks?
Yeah, well, we didn't meet at a coffee shop.
I love this.
Yeah, let's rephrase maybe.
Manny was swooning me. That's what I would say, and said, "I will even come to Mississauga to meet you." And I was like, "Okay." And he came to a Starbucks in Mississauga.
Not
yes.
Tim Hortons.
No. Not Tim Hortons.
No.
Well, I wouldn't go to Tim Hortons, but
Exactly. So you're a Starbucks kind of gal, right? Because
I'm actually an at-home coffee kind of gal. That's what I am. I'm not. But if I am going to have a coffee,
Frank, hey.
I'm a Yorkville downtown
yeah,
coffee kind of girl.
yeah.
So you 2020 with us?
Yes.
Right?
2020
Pandemic
with
just
you.
before? Or?
It was April, so right in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And you?
2023.
It's all a blur, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
2023,
yeah.
I
COVID.
think.
So
It
just
feels
coming out
like
of it.
longer.
Yeah, coming out of COVID, yes.
And you
was
guys, so
when we met.
you didn't know one another before this?
We did not.
We did not.
No.
And now,
This amazing brokerage brought us together, and now
We're besties.
we can't.
We're real estate
We can't
twins.
be apart.
so I did a little, so you're both Scorpios.
Yes.
Yeah, we are.
So
Do
I
you
got-
want to talk about that?
I love
Let's
this.
start
We
with
love
that.
talking
Okay,
about
well,
our,
let me
our
read this.
sign.
So overall compatibility and bond. Two Scorpios can form a deep and strong bond because they understand each other.
Yes.
I feel like
Go.
that would.
I think probably the biggest trait, and it's interesting because I think we're the most misunderstood sign of the entire zodiac.
Yeah.
But we thrive on getting very deep and understanding people, and I
Yeah.
think actually that's probably why not only were we very drawn to each other, but why we operate our businesses so similarly.
Right.
because we're very big on understanding the client, listening to the client, and just really getting to the core and nitty gritty of everything, right?
Yeah, and we're also super loyal. We love really hard. So, like, relationships for us.
I read that.
Yes, relationships for us are
It's huge.
really important.
Yeah.
But then on the flip side of that, if you cross us, and I would say I'm probably a little more cutthroat than Laura is.
Confession time.
But if you cross us, we
don't handle it very well.
We don't handle it well. We're not good that way because we are not like that. Like, we really value and love deeply, right? Like, that's who we are. And it's funny, like, because I think when I read a definition of a Scorpio, as crazy as it is, I literally think to myself, this is me. Like, this is who I am as a person.
Yeah, I can read on. I mean, it has... It
keep
gets
going
in,
a bit.
Yeah, passion, loyalty, understanding one another. And I was a little surprised. I don't know enough about astrology to even start a conversation. But it says that Scorpios get along with Scorpios. And I would think that maybe not, right? I thought opposites sort of attract. And you guys are very sort of well-connected and but there are differences between one another.
Oh, for sure.
Oh my gosh,
Emotionally,
yeah.
I think, you know...
We're like, we complement each other.
Very well.
Because even today, we were at the office and I was really frustrated and I was yelling and Laura was like, you're yelling. Like, why are you yelling?
Yeah, I just kind of calm her down, you know?
I'm the more, like, I can get riled up really quickly, whereas she is like, you know, relax, like, you know, and that does, it calms me down. It's good for me. Like, I need that.
So here, quote, often described as a powerful duo. This is here, quote unquote. And it describes you two, I think, perfectly. I mean, the whole description here is, I just did this yesterday. I thought, okay, well, let's have a little fun with astrology.
Yeah, I love it.
But there is and it surprised me again. I thought, I don't know enough, but I'm not sure I get along with I'm a Capricorn. I
was going to ask, you're a Capricorn. I knew you were a Capricorn because I know you're beginning of January. And I was going to say, actually, Capricorns are very good matches for us in terms of friendship compatibility because of the way you think and the way we think. It's like a very good match as well. But yeah,
I didn't know.
You disagree?
I don't know. I don't disagree.
Fair enough.
I just don't know enough about other signs
I
to
study
know
this.
that.
I study this.
Yes,
No,
yeah.
Do you guys, so just maybe share a little insight of, you guys work together, but you don't work together?
Yeah, I'll share. It's funny that you brought up this whole Scorpio thing because I think too, Roberta, she's very driven. And I noticed this right away when I met her. She approached me at the office, you know, we introduced ourselves to each other and we were talking about like things we had going on in business. And she mentioned to me that she farms this area and I had a listing coming up in the area. So she said, you know, if and when you list it, if you'd like me to host the open house or if we can do it together, like I'd love to do that for you. And I said, okay, sure. So I actually did love that about her, that she was I could already tell she was super collaborative and driven and, you know, and anyway, the listing, it did end up coming out, but it was later than what was expected in my timeline. And she was very persistent. She kept asking me about it, right? She's like, what's going on with your listing? You know, do you want me to do the open house? Don't forget. You know, it was really just like I could see
18 years in the business and I still do open houses.
I could see.
We should talk about that.
Oh, yeah.
We should talk about that.
And I still door knock. I still do all of it. Yes. Yeah.
Opportunity cost.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, that's how you met.
So I said, yeah, don't worry. I promise I will absolutely keep you posted. And it was perfect because when I did list the property, it lined up with a trip that I had booked and I couldn't actually physically be there to do the open house. So, I said to her, yeah, like I want you to do the open house. And so she went by to go look at the property and she actually called me as I was getting ready to leave. And she's like, Laura, you know, I kind of want to share something with you about your listing, but I'm not sure how you're going to take it. I just hope you're open to hearing this feedback. And I was like, what is she going to say right now? Like,
but I would like to say I did call Manny first.
Okay, yeah.
She didn't know. She knows the rest.
Yeah.
She
We've
knows the
talked.
story,
yeah, and we had a conversation, and Manny was like, you can totally call her. She's so cool.
Yeah.
Like, she's going to be so receptive. Just, yeah.
And so she gave me some feedback about the property needing like proper full professional staging, which it was kind of like semi there, but not fully. And then she said, you know, I actually have a bit of a business on the side and I could get this done for you like ASAP. We could turn this around in like the next few days. There's just a few things we have to kind of tweak in the unit. And I thought to myself, so I said, okay, leave it with me. Let me think about it. And my first thought, I was actually like, I don't know if I like this. It didn't bother me, but I'm like, how does this look? Like, I just wasn't sure how to take it. But right away I thought to myself, okay, she's actually trying to really help me right now. And I feel like this is, sometimes you just need a fresh perspective when there's something, you know, either with a listing or with just in business in general, whether you're experienced or not. Like, I think it's one of those things.
Yeah. 100%.
It's just good to be open and to hear other realtors and their feedback. And now I feel like we do this all the time. Like, I'll call her for feedback. She calls me. And we're just like, give it to me straight. You know, what do you see here? What do you think? Right?
That first conversation, I remember obviously your conversation with me about, and it was genuine, but it's a delicate sort of, you know, because
I was scared. I was nervous because I didn't want her to think like, I didn't think she was doing a good job. I just knew that there were things that I could maybe bring to the table that she didn't have immediate access to. That was all that it was.
And to your credit, I think you were very honest and sincere. And, you know, I barely knew at the time, but I can read that it was genuine. It wasn't.
Yeah, no. And it was super beneficial to both of us. So it was like, you know, I knew it was going to be a benefit to her and you know, to the listing and to the client, but it was also beneficial to me because, you know, I farm that area, which now she farms with me because I love having her help. And I love, you know, that we collaborate together. Like, that is so important to me. And I love, I just love doing things with her. So
yeah, I think too, like, one of the things Roberta said about me being able to balance certain situations if she's having a reaction, I think, like,
is that what we call it, a reaction?
Yeah, a reaction, you know.
Right.
And hey, we're reactive. Human beings are reactive. Like, let's be real.
What was it that I said once to her? I don't know if you can share.
I know. It was the intimidating. She's intimidating.
I said that to her.
That was
okay.
That
So
really
we're
set her
not
off.
talking about that?
We can talk about it.
I said, what did I say? I said,
you said some people find you intimidating, and I said,
we're still on speaking terms, but
she really disagreed.
I still disagree. I don't know. I find that
you're like both of you're
passionate.
Okay, right, and sometimes that can come across as, depending on who's receiving, intimidating.
Well, just so you know, Manny, we asked her whole family at dinner that night whether they agreed that she's intimidating, and all of them said yes, you can be intimidating. Yes. So I think Roberta views that as a negative thing, and I actually don't think it's negative. But
no, it wasn't. Like,
that's exactly what it is. Yeah,
it's not. It's.
I know that's what it is. I know why you had the reaction, but yeah, I think
I prefer confident than intimidating.
I just think
if you're overconfident, sometimes you can come across as intimidating. Listen, somebody once told me that, you know, he walks as if his shit doesn't stink, right? And, you know, swagger, confidence, intimidation, all in the same sort
wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right? Like you're coming down, so you have swagger, you sell, and you have the confidence, and somebody who is maybe not feeling or having a bad day or a bad week because their sales are down or they just lost they can perceive that as some form of intimidation.
And I think too, you were using the context. It was it was like somebody really fresh. It was somebody with little experience. We were talking about like how
there was a context
how we would come off to someone like that.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
And so I remember it being more of that context. No, I have this.
I'm spiraling now.
Another thing is I have a killer memory.
Yes,
killer memory.
Yeah.
There was context.
There was context, and I do think that we do give that vibe off for sure, and it's okay. It's part and parcel.
It's swagger, though. It's confidence.
Yeah.
Listen, maybe now, but I will tell you, like,
it took something to get there.
Well, I always say, like, okay, I started in 2008. I worked really hard. I did Chris Leader's program in 2010. That really, like, catapulted my career. And then the end of 2010, I had a very devastating personal experience, and that really derailed my career for a long time. And then I remember in 2019, and I struggled for a long time during that, like 2011 to like 2019. And I remember in 2019, I was at the bottom of life. Like, I had hit rock bottom. I was just thinking, like, it cannot get worse than this in terms of business, right? Like, I felt like I was always working so hard, but just things weren't happening. And I remember in 2019, I would say to people, next year is going to be a great year because everyone I talk to is selling next year. Everyone I talk to is going to make a move. They're going to buy and they're going to sell. And the beginning of 2020, that for me was like my year exploded. I went from making nothing in 2019 to having a very successful business in 2020. And then I realized, okay, I really have to keep this going. And I worked hard. Like, and the last 6 years, this business is such a grind, you know? Like, people, we say this all the time when people say, oh my gosh, are you busy? Yeah, I'm really busy. Like, I'm really busy. Oh, well, you're so lucky. Really? Luck?
The harder I work, yeah.
Luck has nothing to do with it.
The luckier I get.
So, it's a grind. We're constantly out there. We're constantly making connections. We're always on. It's a lot.
It is difficult. And the success and fail rate demonstrates the difficulty or the level of difficulty that is innate in this business. You get 90%, 80% fail. You come in and it's hard to grind it out. You mentioned Chris Leader, and Chris was in our office yesterday.
Yeah.
And you're a fan. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
And,
big fan.
And he can attest to what you're saying. He says, look, it's a tough business, man. You gotta.
But I will say, if you had spoken to me in 2019, the last words on your lip would have been intimidating or confident when you referred to me. I just was not. Like, that was my point, was I was not that person. You know? I needed to be really thick in the business to get my confidence back. And that has happened over the last 6 years, really. Not over the last 18, over the last 6 probably.
Crazy.
You got a little, I don't know if the camera's picked up, but you got a little emotional with that whole, did it teach you something? Did you learn something? You grew with that, whatever happened? Well, you had a couple of difficult years. Yeah. You came out of it.
I should have gone to therapy. That's what I learned. And I'm being very honest. When you don't go through, so what happened was my dad got very sick in 2011. And very sick. And that was devastating to me. He was a big part of my social life. He was like my best friend. Right. And it was just very hard.
Yeah, I can tell.
And I should have gone to talk to someone about it. So yeah, I think if somebody is going through that and you've never been through that, because I had never had that happen. I didn't know what loss was. I had never dealt with anything like that. And so I think when you do deal with something like that, like going to talk to someone is very helpful.
Yeah, and you know what? It speaks to this business too. It's a lonely business, right? Like, we're social, we're in and out, but we're alone.
Very lonely.
We suffer in silence a lot. This business is, whether if you're succeeding, we sort of show it off a little bit sometimes because we have to. It's good to celebrate our wins.
Yeah.
But our losses, we sort of internalize all of it.
It's true. Yeah. The highs are really high and the lows are really low.
Yeah. Tough. Well, thanks for sharing that. I called you out. Jamie can edit this if you don't want it in the podcast.
I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. And look, you're not to use intimidating, but you're a strong business person today.
Yeah. And you know what? All the time, anyone that knows my dad always says, you are literally you are your father. And it is the biggest compliment anyone can give me.
honor.
My sisters tell me that, like my family tells me that. You are literally him. And he was an amazing business person. He owned a business, a retail sporting goods business in Etobicoke for years. And everyone knows him. Bicycle Bob, like that's who he was. I was named after him. Like I'm literally him.
So Roberta Bob. Okay. Now
Bobby.
Bobby. Yeah. Some of us call her Bobby in the office. I'm not sure that's appropriate. Business person. So you treat this like a business. You mentioned it a few times. You just hired somebody.
We did.
So your business is growing.
Yeah.
You want to tell us? How was that experience?
I mean, we've thought about this for a long time because we run our businesses separately, but we do have, again, because we farm together now, and so we've got now some joint clients. And so we just thought because of how similarly we run our businesses and because of this shared aspect that we thought, why don't we hire an assistant and have...
That was a good experience, no? Everything in life is an experience. It was. Now, you want to give her a shout out?
She has been the light at the end of the tunnel for us.
She's incredible.
She's
we
great.
love her. Anya, we love you.
Yeah. She's
So,
great.
no, I mean, look, it was tough. I think because, I mean, going back a little bit to what we were talking about with, when Roberta, we kind of both have control issues a little bit, right? She's maybe a little less controlling.
Tell us about yours. Okay, we have time.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, just going back to that situation, though, we can kind of tie it together with that whole.
I was going to say, we need to go back to that. Yeah,
going back to that situation, I think this is where Roberta thinks I thrive, and I've worked really hard to get this way, is when something happens in business or just a situation, especially in business, maybe not in other areas of my life, but especially in business, I am very good at keeping my cool. And yes, I do have to vent about things. I do have to, talk things out, whatever. But I'm very good at understanding that the reaction is just not necessary. Just keeping it cool, especially when it comes to conversations with clients and situations. Of course, am I, kind of freaking out inside? Maybe I am a little bit. But I think what I've realized over the years in transacting often and having different things come up, scenarios come up. This is the thing in real estate is it's never just a smooth start to finish process. There's always things that are going to come up that you have to deal with, right? So I'm very big on my energy is their energy, right? People I'm working with. So if I'm all of a sudden freaking out about a situation,
100%.
they're gonna take that on. So I'm just really good when something happens. I can reflect. I can be okay, why am I having this feeling or whatever, right? So when
not reactive at all. You are not reactive.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. I must say, and I don't think that was always me. This is something I've definitely worked through. Communication courses, just different personal development I've taken on, and I think it also just comes with experience. You just reach a point where you're it is not worth it.
Yeah.
We're just gonna now deal. What's the next step?
Yeah.
What is the next obstacle we have to get through? What is the next solution? Whatever it is, right? So,
does it surprise you when people say you're chill? More chill.
I think just in business.
Does
not
it
in
surprise
general.
you when people say, or are you surprised by somebody assessing you or saying, "Oh, you're chill," or do you know that about yourself?
I know it. I think I'm very chill in some ways, and in other ways, I'm not chill. And I think I know that about myself, and I think people know that about me too. In certain things, they're yeah, she's so easygoing, and then in other things, they're oh no, that's gonna trigger her, So.
What triggers her? Do we know? Do we have any insight?
Come on, we don't have enough time for that.
No.
But
this business, really, you can't. You have to expect the unexpected
for
at
sure.
all times.
For sure.
So it is important, like you said, to sort of.
But yeah, my point in bringing all that back up is, when Roberta shared with me what she shared with me, my initial reaction was I got a little defensive with myself, or just in general, I felt it was a feeling that I had about, the way I operate my business or whatever. And I quickly realized, hold on, she's actually trying to give me another perspective. This can actually be beneficial. And I think that's a very important thing. We all have egos that kind of inflate sometimes. It's really important when the client is the priority.
Yeah.
To be able to acknowledge whatever, put it aside and be what's the priority here? The client. Like, yeah, if this is going to help the client, I'm going to collaborate. So that's what we did. We co-listed.
If I can,
Yeah.
I'll add to it. Roberta came with really good intentions.
Of course.
Pure at the time.
Of course.
And I assessed her sort of, she was real, genuine farm area. But I also knew, I was very confident that you wouldn't take it the wrong way.
Yeah.
She was sensitive to that, how, it's not egos. It's just, we have personalities.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we're sensitive. And,
Yeah.
it's almost like she's judging me or criticizing me, but it wasn't. You didn't take it that way.
You know what it is? It's not even about her. It's about my own judgment of myself. It's about like, why didn't I do this that way? Why didn't I think of that? Or why didn't I, you know what I mean? Like that's more what it is. I'm very hard on myself. It's a blessing and a curse because it has me, just kind of like always be sharp in terms of wanting to better. But then it also has me be so critical and like also not looking at that other side too. That's also very, very relevant, which is I'm incredible.
Would you do that to somebody today? Would you approach somebody who you barely knew? Like, I mean, you were with us a week or two.
Yeah, it was fresh.
Early on.
Yeah.
Would you approach somebody today and do a similar sort of
100%.
Yeah.
I would 100%.
Because you guys are students of this business. We spoke about this briefly. Like, I'm not going to say a lot, but many get their license and it's one and done. I get my license, I got my certificate, I'll renew every 2 years, do the minimal to stay active. But you're students, you do ongoing education, reading, seminars. We're going to get Chris Leader and to do.
We're really big on that. We're
the-
really
the
big on
honor-
personal
We're
development.
scared of him, but
No, I mean
he's
in
real.
a good way.
He's
in a
real,
good way.
though.
Yeah.
he's amazing. Yeah.
This business isn't, and again, business. It's not for the faint of heart. Like it takes, but it's rather simple if you think about it.
Yeah.
Well, going back to the Chris Leader thing, like it's just unfortunate that, more agents are not willing to invest. Yes, it's going to cost money. It's not cheap to do the program that he offers, but it's worth every penny. It is so worth it. And you have to invest in yourself. You have to have skin in the game.
That's a really good point.
It's more expensive in the long run if you don't. That's actually the truth.
I'll tell you this. I'm not sure. I didn't coin this phrase, but I use it when we're doing. I love you, Chris, and you're not paying for this. Maybe you should. And we love all sorts of coaching. We encourage everybody to take coaching, what other form. We've had them all in the office. I'm a Buffini fan.
Mm-hmm.
And,
he's great too.
Their program is, whether it be 100 Days to Greatness or what's the
Repeat
Peak
referral.
Producers.
Peak
Producers, yeah.
It's $500 US, right? And it's like, I can't afford it. And when I'm telling somebody new to the business, it's like, you can't afford not to.
Yeah.
It's not, you can't afford not to. But it's difficult, right? You're coming out, you have no paycheck, you have no assurance or guarantee that you're going to sell anything in the next 2, 3, 4 months. And if you sell a house on month 2, it's going to take you 2 other months to close a deal. So you're without income for 4, 5, 6 months. So it's difficult to say, hey, Roberta, let's invest $500 or whatever the program costs. So, but it's essential.
I will say, even for myself, prior to investing in myself in real estate, I had never made more than $50,000 in a year. I'm just going to say that. Like, I wasn't sure if I wanted to say that, but I'm just going to say it. Yeah. I had never made more than $50,000 in a year prior to deciding I need to dive into some personal development, something, because, and so the very first program, it wasn't even real estate related. It was Bob Proctor's Thinking into Results. Okay. But like a game changer for me, where that year, like I did his program, and that year I tripled my income. It was the first time I ever made 6 figures, and I just decided from there, I'm like, I will never stop investing in myself. Mm-hmm. And then the next big move in my career was switching brokerages, which made another huge difference, because again, I never thought that environment was as important. And then one day I was like, but why isn't it as important? It's like, it's so important,
Yeah. So,
your leaders are and who the agents around you are. And that was another huge change in my career.
Yeah. So I will say, and I've said this a lot, when I started in this business, I was with a franchise, Royal LePage,
Corporate?
not corporate, so like owned Royal LePage, not a corporate. And I loved
franchise.
It was okay, so it was a franchise. Sorry, maybe we can edit that. But anyway.
No.
Just keep
Don't
going.
edit anything. Leave it.
So, anyways, I loved that office. I met so many amazing people there. Like one of my closest real estate buddies is. I'm still talk to him. I met him there. I felt when I was at that office, I felt like part of a family.
Right.
It was just such a wonderful experience. And then I left there after my dad got sick. I was like, I need to be closer to home. So I moved to a brokerage closer to home, which was good. But I never got that feeling again. I never got that like feeling of home and, that I just loved being there until I came to Royal LePage Supreme. And I tell everybody that story. I love this office. I love the people. I love the leadership. I've made such amazing friendships there. I love it. It just warms my heart. It makes me feel exactly how I felt when I first started.
Right. And it's important. It's important.
Yeah, it's really important.
To come in and feel like you're part of something, like you belong. And I want to talk about what you do now in terms of sharing and leading and teaching.
Yeah.
And for free. But to your point, it is important. Most agents don't really consider that when you're looking for a brokerage, but I think the whole vibe, and for
Huge.
you it's important to come in into something that is healthy, and for us it's vital that we listen, it's like anything. It's like a tree. It's like anything. You need to make sure that the people in the coop are like-minded, and it's a healthy vibe and environment. Otherwise, it's disruptive.
Yeah.
Totally.
Disruptive and destructive.
Toxic.
And so for us, it's always important to bring people that are like you coming in and talking to a complete stranger and say, Manny, I can help her if she's open to it. And she was. And you now are teaching, and we're working on you teaching. You know that. So
if it requires me taking the broker exam, I will not. I'm being totally transparent.
I know you've been.
I love it.
I don't need it. I'm not planning on opening a brokerage.
It doesn't matter.
I don't.
Anyways.
And now I have my wonderful friend here who I partner with who has her broker license. I don't need it.
We were talking about ongoing educational education, personal growth, development. At some point, you're going to say, okay, I need something. Look, I was just before we left. I went in. I'm not going to say his name. I will say his name. I was talking to Chris Toast, and he needs a fix. He's looking for something next, whatever that is, right?
A level up.
Yeah. Level up. Okay,
level up.
He can join our team.
Okay.
He asked us if we're hiring today.
A level up. So, and he has to find it. And if you don't do anything different, then you're going to be stuck in sort of a rut, right? And you need it may be that, maybe something else. But I do recommend that you be open-minded to that, because when you do the broker's course, Laura probably thought this. She didn't ask me, but others have. She said, Manny, did you know what you were getting into when you bought the business, right? It's we're talking reconciliation. We're talking so many things, right? And it's like, really, you want to do this? You really want to do this? And I was ready for it, and I wanted it. But it opens up your mind, broadens your sort of the way you see things, and you'll see my role differently. I think she has a different insight now.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that there are a lot of benefits to the broker's course. I don't deny that.
Okay.
And some respect to everyone that has it. I think it's great. But I also think that I bring value without the broker's license. So if someone needs help with something, I'm there. If I I just, to me, it's not something that's really important to me because I can share my stories and not have the broker's license and give you insight and not have the broker's license.
So what do you want to talk to the group about? Tell us.
What do I want? I don't.
Okay. What's out there now? So you teach, you share. So you did a couple. You're comfortable in this environment. Like,
I love it.
This for me, like I don't know what I'm doing here, but you're a natural. You do a lot of social media, and it just comes. It's second nature to you, and you do a BRA presentation with our broker circle.
Yep.
And it's for free, right? But does it? You seem to enjoy it.
I do. I think, first of all, I've always had this passion. Even when I first started in real estate, I thought to myself, because I struggled for years as well, like similarly to Roberta, right? I wasn't just like naturally making all this money at the beginning, and even now, it's not like I'm always just on, right? Like we have our ups and downs, but I think I was always so passionate about, I want to just help others eventually. Like I want to be in a position where I'm like helping agents with certain things, right? Or that's always been big for me. And so I remember actually, I think it was right when I switched offices and we were on a Zoom call, I think, because it was during COVID times. And I had mentioned something about how I do a buyer presentation. And then you were like, oh, would you present that to everyone? And I was like, sure. Yeah. And then I think you were like, Laura, did I put you on the spot? I'm sorry. And I'm like, no, like, I'm so happy to do this. So I did it on Zoom for the first time. And everyone was like, wow, this is great, And I was inspired when I went to a Richard Robbins conference, actually. It was Tony Joe who had presented this buyer presentation. I remember thinking, why don't I do this in my business? Like, why don't I sit and have a buyer presentation the way I do with sellers?
Right.
It's vital. And I just got really good at it. I got really good at working with buyers. And now it's
second nature.
It's second nature.
Her presentation, I feel like you could actually capitalize on the presentation. Go around to other brokerages and teach people how to do
I'm
a
happy
buyer
to do that.
presentation.
I think it's such a missing in this industry.
Yeah,
and I think especially as a newer agent, most of your clients are buyers when you start.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think when you look at buyers make up a lot of the transactions. They're investors, they're first-time buyers, they're upsizers, downsizers. Like, they make up a lot of the transactions. If you're not good at it, you're really missing out.
Yeah.
Especially as a new agent. But my point in bringing this all up is when I give to others in that way and when I teach, it actually does help me grow too as an agent. Like, I mean, I think every time I'm doing that presentation in front of everyone, I'm also adding to it and expanding it and making it better. And I think like I'm practicing it, right? So it's a win-win.
Yeah, and people look up to you, both of you, like as veterans and top producers. And, listen, we forget in this business. We forget, and I hear it all the time. Rookies coming in are intimidated by all of us, by the industry.
Yeah,
by the lack of experience, knowledge. They don't have the skill set. Maria Vieira was one of our recent guests here. She's with Remax, an old friend. I don't know if you guys know Maria. She's West End.
No.
Anyway, good producer. And I asked her the question. I said, should a rookie come to you, like somebody like a rookie right out of the box, come to you, or should we as veterans go to the rookies and lend a helping hand? And she was like, immediate, we should go to them. We forget what it's like.
It's both, It's
we forget
both.
what it's like. And she was like, yeah, listen, she came up in the early 90s, male-oriented, predominantly male. She's Portuguese speaking, and it was tough. And she's so compassionate now. She's so empathetic to anybody coming through the business being new, and lend a helping hand. Just help these people navigate. So your presentation, it is really, really good.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't disagree with Roberta. Maybe you should try, not us, but lunch, wine. But you can, because I haven't seen a better presentation anywhere.
And I feel inadequate when I watch her.
It's easy. Like I
because
just want to
she's
sign.
so good at it. Like,
well, I think as agents we have our strengths, right? Because there's so many parts of this business.
Yeah.
We have our strengths. I would say, you go into your sellers presentations much less prepared than I do. You can like wing it in a much different way that I would never do, right?
Yeah.
So
I have an idea.
Yeah.
Chris Leader, I mean, it just came up. You did Robbins. Why don't you reach out to these guys and teach it and monitor? Every time it's downloaded, you get a nickel or a dime.
I'm into it.
If you get a dime, I'll take a nickel. You know what? But I think it's worth the listing presentation. Probably used half of the time, but everybody has to sign a listing. Like you can't go on MLS unless you have a listing.
Yeah, well, this is where there's a gap in the business, right? It's a massive gap because.
Yeah, you need a listing.
Because buyers call you, I want to see a property, and agents will just often get up and go show it.
Drop everything.
And it's like
do that.
And I was doing that. I'll be honest. I was doing that for years. And I was spinning my wheels, and I'm like, what am I doing wrong here? And when I went to that conference and I saw that there was this buyer presentation that existed, I'm like, what? We can do this. So it's just like this huge light bulb. So
and we do listing presentations, so why wouldn't we do a buyer presentation?
It makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah.
You know,
same thing.
Yesterday, Chris had a list of 20 one word, like just, I'm not going to put any words in your mind.
They were like qualities, I guess, that you can call
Traits,
them.
qualities.
Traits, qualities,
essential for realtors to succeed. And you have 20.
Yeah.
Part of the premise of this podcast is the pursuit of it. Mm-hmm. So when somebody says Roberta's got it or Laura's got it, what is it? What is it? One word. Like Chris had 20 words, right? So if I'm asking Roberta, what is it? What it makes you different than the 80 or 90% that fail in this business? What do you have? What did Wayne Gretzky have? What was his it?
I would say my it is drive. I'm just a very driven person. And I will just do whatever it takes to be successful. If I have to knock on 1,000 doors because I'm not busy enough, then I'm going to knock on 1,000 doors. Right. I will figure it out.
Right.
That's just how I am. I've always been like that. Like I love this business, like with every fiber of my being. And I love helping people. That's the thing. Like, you know, we chat all the time, Laura and I, because we say like, we are just not transactional agents. That's not who we are. Like for us, it's really about the relationship. And, and I think, you know, even if I'm knocking on doors, that comes through, right? Like I come through as genuine, you know, I'm there to help. That's what I'm there to do. So.
Drive.
Yes.
Yeah, mine, yeah. It's funny. I thought you were going to ask us what we need to improve upon on the list, which I'd love to go into as well. But for me, it's he had his word on there was chameleon. It's the fact that I think I can be so adaptive, like no matter what is going on.
Yeah.
I can figure it out. I can talk to anybody. I could go into a luxury place. I could go into a small shoebox condo. You know, I can figure it out. I could read the room. I can connect with just about anyone, and I can figure things out if they're not going a certain way. Like if we need a deal to go a different way or a conversation to go a different way or whatever, a situation in general,
that comes with experience, though.
For sure.
Or ongoing education,
for sure.
which you both.
Yeah.
For sure. But I think I've gotten really good at just adapting, like being in flow a little more. Like if you're so rigid about how your day has to be and how this has to go, and you have this like attachment to, well, why did this happen? Like it shouldn't have happened. I just think that makes it a lot harder.
Yeah. But that's also confidence too.
Yeah.
So what is the thing that the one word that you'd want? You brought it up. And
I'm happy to. So I think, again, for me, I know being more routined and more disciplined in certain areas would benefit me. And that's one thing I struggle with is like, I don't like my days to look the same.
Right.
I love being like, one day I'm on the road all day. One day I'm, just having snacks with clients. I'm just connecting, One day I'm, working on social media content. One day I love that variety. It's like a charcuterie board, That's how I love eating. It's the same. It's like I don't want to wake up at 5:30, do this. Like, I'm just not structured in that sense. And I do think that sometimes is a bit of a downfall for sure.
Because Chris, he was talking about it yesterday. Like, be the first in the office and be like, if you want to do chairman, you want to get to that.
That terrifies me.
Yeah, listen, the joy of being self-employed is do whatever you want. Like,
I'm being honest.
We can't ask you guys to. You don't punch a clock when you come in or when you leave. You don't collect a paycheck unless you earn it, and you're self-employed. But discipline.
The discipline part.
Yeah.
I think I'm disciplined in a lot of areas of this business, but not in terms of like that routine and making sure those really important tasks are complete like every morning. No.
Just a clarifying question. Do you want to change that about yourself?
Of course, yeah, that would be amazing.
Okay, so we need to talk. What do you want?
So, like,
what's the one word that you want? Is there one? I'm not sure.
Oh, I would agree. I think if you asked any agent, they would say it, to be more routine, to have more of a routine, more discipline. I'm disciplined in certain aspects of my life, but yeah, I think just having more structure around business would be a lot better. But this is why we've hired an assistant,
right,
to help us with that. And
it's going to free you up to do.
This is
to level up. We're leveling up.
This is a big step, and it's like, I think another thing agents struggle with is outsourcing. We just love doing everything ourselves, and I think it's a big it's a detriment. It can be. It can
be. And we had this conversation, right? You know how much potential I think you both have, and we're not going to talk numbers, but chairman is here for you guys to individually or collectively, but you have to make. But you received it and you did it, and you hired, and now you have to. You brought up half an hour ago. You said something about open houses and that. I admire it and respect you, but we can talk about other things that you can be doing instead of that.
I will say, I would love to say that people ask us all the time. We talk about it. It's people will be like, "Oh, are you busy? Like the market's so bad. How are you busy?"
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, we get this.
And my answer is always, honestly, real estate has nothing to do with real estate. Actually, it has to do with your ability to connect with people and talk to people and just network that way. So.
Which is what the presentation was yesterday. It's about relationships.
But it'll and like us having someone who's doing the back end stuff that is really important in our business and keeps us organized and whatever, but we'll have us then be able to connect more and be out there doing what we need to do.
Yeah.
Your strengths.
Yeah.
Your strength may not be doing photography, and you hire a professional photographer, both of you, and your strength may not be cleaning the house or prepping it for certain things, but you can point the finger and have it done. You mentioned transactional. What is that? Tell us. So your relationship, what's a transactional agent?
Okay, I'll give you the perfect example because we had an incident happen yesterday, and I literally was telling Laura.
No names.
No, I'm not going to say names. No, I'm not going to give a lot of details at all. But something happened on. After a closing.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I was dealing with it yesterday. And a lot of it was like me just being very supportive of the situation because I can put myself in this person's shoes and think I would be very upset as well. And so I was just agreeing, and being very empathetic to the situation and just trying to talk this person through what she had gone through. But the old me, the new agent Roberta, would have been very nervous, would have been very scared at this whole situation, and would have responded with, "Oh, I'm really sorry," and then just sort of ran away from the whole situation, right? And that's the difference. The difference is like being a transactional agent is like you've done the transaction, you're good with it, and you're going to hit the road. You're going to be done, right. and what happens afterwards, you're not really going to, bother yourself with. If something, something comes up, you're just going to be like, oh, I'm just going to ghost and just not respond. I'm done with it. Whereas, for me now, maintaining that relationship well beyond the transaction is what's important to me because I love my people. My people are my people. They're very important to me. And so, we host events, like big client events, and we love doing it because it shows appreciation.
Are we doing the Jays?
Yeah,
We're
it's
doing
booked.
the Blue Jays game.
It's
yeah,
booked.
we're excited.
Did you secure the box? Or?
Yeah,
We sure did.
Yeah. Third year in a row.
Nice.
And it's just fun. It's just a chance for like all of our clients to get together and have a great time.
Yeah, we're the same.
Yeah.
We're the same in that sense. And like anyone I work with, I think if you talk to all my clients, if you line them up, they would say, we become friends, we become family.
Oh my gosh, so funny.
It's mandatory.
We have a joint client, Laura and I had to take them out yesterday to look at a property. And Laura couldn't come, so I took them. Anyways, the property was not great. It was literally
Not a match for them.
Not a match for them. And so I was joking, and I said to them, well, I didn't really care about the property anyways. I came to see the two of you. And they were like, oh, we love that. We love that. When are we going to get together? When are we going to, we need to go out. We need to have dinner together. And she'll probably be watching this. I don't think he'll watch
Maybe,
it.
we'll
But
see.
she might be watching this. But anyways, we love them so much. They've become our friends.
Right. Yeah,
of course.
And we like hanging out with them.
So they started shooting out dates like for potential nights out, right? So that's just the way it goes.
It's relationship, and then
It's relationships.
we talk about. We're not going to talk about this today, but we have, and I have it here, the Supreme Handoff. So you build a business, you build relationships, and at some point we all retire. And what happens with? We're not going to talk about this. Well, we will. We have to retire. Either we retire or we are retired. At some point, we have to sort of walk away from this business. Mm-hmm. And again, back to the business and the coffee beans. You can sell a coffee shop. You can sell a Starbucks franchise. You can sell a Chris Leader business. Realtors don't sell their businesses. Mm-hmm. We're just we're so bad at representing ourselves because we don't set ourselves up right. And when you're selling a business, a database, you're selling relationships and friendships that you've nurtured, fostered for 20, 30, 40 years. In my case, it would be 40 years. And we don't. But you guys are setting yourselves up right.
Well,
for that.
yeah. Another important reason to have somebody to set up all those systems that we have in place, like client onboarding, start to finish. How does it look when you have a call for a listing, a call for a buy, whatever it is, right? Yeah, you're right. Those things are important.
Yeah.
99.9%. And listen, I've been around since the Stone Age of real estate. We just wither away and fade away, and our business goes, and our relationships go, and we let our people down. We let our clients down. So you build all these wonderful relationships. You take them out to dinners and Blue Jay games and whatever, and break bread with them, and then all of a sudden you fade away, and you just. And that's so unfortunate. That is such I think, a disappointing conclusion to a really brilliant career in most cases. And we talk about it here. We're not going to talk about it today, but we do. It's part of the last episode was about this with Sarah. Was, she had to move, and, she implemented this. So it is good on you.
Yeah.
Build it, nurture it, foster it, and then at some point you can monetize it, and you can, because I got news for you, you're not going to want to do this forever. You won't be able to do it forever. At some point, we're going to have to give. Frank's going to say,
I hate thinking
Roberta,
about
let's
that.
go to the beach.
Yeah.
Does it scare you? Does the retirement?
A little bit. I don't know that retirement necessarily scares me, but I can't really just imagine doing anything else. I just love this, right? So that's the part. But would I love to be selling parts of my business off and monitoring from a beach one day? Sure, that would be great.
We'll show you how. Roberta, back, we're going to wrap this up, but back, so go back year 1, year 2, right? The whole coffee bean. What would you tell yourself? If you can go back year 1, month 1, what would you tell yourself? It sounds like you had a good experience, good brokerage. Mm-hmm. Would you change anything?
Would I change anything? No.
Okay.
No, I wouldn't change anything.
So
I think
Roberta, get more calls, more knocks, more relationships, more dinners, lunches, whatever with clients. What? Nothing.
No, I think I've been very fortunate as well, because I have a husband that is my biggest cheerleader, and he's a hairstylist. He has so, how many people a day sitting in that chair, and he talks about me nonstop. So he has been such a big part of my business, right? And I said to him, actually, when I won my award this year, I said to him, I feel like this award is actually his award because I get so much business from him. And I mean, I had my biggest sale was last year, and that was a result of him. And I think even like if I look back to when I first started, it was him really helping me along the way, really supporting me, which
Thanks, Frank. We love you.
Yeah,
Frank.
we do love him.
Would you maybe take your broker's course like on year one? Anyway.
Maybe. I would have probably done it.
Yeah, get that
out of
over
the
with
way.
right away. Just get it done,
Yeah,
man.
I feel like things were just much easier back then. So yes, I
Well,
probably,
it's
I should have done
also
it
once
then.
you're in that school mode, you can just knock it out, and it's not as
How
Yeah,
daunting is
exactly.
it? Like, I'm sorry, I haven't taken a course in a while. Is it complex now to do it?
I'm just not. I've never been a big school girl.
Yeah.
I don't
Me
belong.
either.
I don't
Wrong
belong.
person to ask. Okay, we'll move along. Would you change anything? So you're honest. You struggle a bit. Early
Yeah,
days?
I don't know. Like, it's such an interesting question. The journey wasn't always super amazing, and I don't know that I'd change anything because I really am a believer that everything happens. Like, it's all really the correct timing for what needs to take place. I think if I would change anything, I kind of wish I started earlier.
Yes, yeah.
I wish I was younger when I started. And again, like,
That's facts.
but maybe that it's better that I wasn't, like, I don't know. But also what I was doing prior to real estate, like, there were so many connections I made at that job and who I'm still friends with, and I've helped them buy and sell, so it's just, again, everything happens in its correct timing. I really am a strong believer in that, but I also, if I had to just give one answer, it would be I would start younger, and I would just dive in harder.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there's room there for debate here. Laura, do more of this. What would it be?
Like right now?
No.
Back then, do more of
one.
this. I think it would be just like remove the fear and just be in the business right away. Like I was working part-time. I was trying to I was just dipping my feet in real estate and just, and I started with a mentor who was incredible, taught me so much, but I also was super scared to just be full-time in real estate for the first few years.
Yeah.
So I think it was like, just remove the fear. Just, you know what? I was living at home with my parents. It was the best time to dive in. And I was still like, no. Right. So
What would you want the industry to do more for us? So now we have the wellness programs, or we have insurance for to help us with some of the ailments that humans suffer on a day-to-day. What would you want the industry to do different for you? Like OREA, TREB. Say, hey, guys, why don't you, more education?
Really good question.
More benefits, give us a pension plan.
Oh, maybe the pension
Leave
plan.
us alone.
Yeah. I feel like people are probably going to be mad that I said that, though, because they were all so angry. All the realtors were angry when the wellness program came in.
Yeah, but the stats show that most people are benefiting from it, and I get it. Like there's duplicity, but I think they've adjusted for that, right? Like if a spouse or a partner, somebody in a house has it, they've sort of separated some of that. But I think, listen, I was with Trev at the time, and I was huge fan of it and voted for it. So don't kill me or thank me. There were a lot of smart people ahead of me that put this thing together. Trev and Aria. Pension plan's a good idea.
I think at the end of the day, I think people have to think of it differently. This whole what they brought in for us, it has to do with having us be more collaborative and more of an industry that works together. I think that's probably a missing.
Yes.
And I don't know how you bring that in.
Can you accomplish that? Oof.
I don't know how you bring that in. It's tough, but I feel like we're a bunch of silos.
Yeah.
And it's just not easy. I mean, I think I'm very good at having conversations and building rapport with agents, but there are still really difficult times trying to get a deal done with someone who's just like not there. So I think maybe like bringing in some sort of collaboration and how to make this industry
more collaborative, more friendly, more.
Yeah, more about like it takes two people to make this deal. So let's just do that.
So I have a follow-up question because we can talk all day.
Yeah.
Did COVID set us back with that in terms of conversations? Because we went from face-to-face, in-person to digital. Like we invite co-op agents to come in once in a while to come in and just say, look, thanks for collaborating with our realtor. Have a cup of coffee. And oftentimes we find that the cooperating agent to our listing agent, they hadn't met, like person to person.
Yeah.
So this is what you look like? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's all digital.
Yeah, I think that's so typical
I
now.
mean, I think I do love, again, I'm very big on calling agents that I'm going to be working with and having that sort of baseline conversation and building something, building. I think it's just as important as working with your client. But I think what COVID did, it eliminated a lot of the in-person, like you said, and I think that part, it's important. I mean, having those presentations in person, even, I'm not even talking about multiple offer presentations. Like, of course, that was a huge part of, like, the COVID times. But even if it wasn't a multiple offer situation, you'd call up an agent and be like, I want to present an offer tonight. Like, are you and your sellers going to be home or whatever the selling, it was just so different. And I think that it would be nice if some of those...
Bring it back.
Some of those things came back. I know. We're definitely...
So relationships, not only with buyers and sellers, but also in the industry. And you're right. Listen, I started in 87, and it wasn't... but fortunately, I don't know if it was virtue of the times being different and no technology at the time. We actually had relationships with local agents. So we can call each other for help, support to sell something, or if we're promoting our own stuff. I think we can use a little bit more of that. Hey, like calling agents from other brokerages to say, hey, I have this, can you help me with it? Or if you have anything, we're looking for this. I think you're right. I think you touched, because we're also independent contractors, we're also, we're silos, as you said, but bring back more collaboration amongst us. It's very competitive.
Very competitive.
I don't know if it's a
and I think we just need to... Yeah, even just... I also think, it does begin at the brokerage level for sure, right? But if there's something that could kind of inspire that more as an actual industry, I don't know if we have... I know we have like Realtor Quest and there's things, but I think it just needs to be deeper than that.
Well, on a sort of big picture, micro, macro, you can't change the industry, but you can change the way we treat the next person, next offer, next... interaction with another realtor and with each other. So conversations, relationships, save that one starfish on the beach, and then if everybody else does the same, then we'll be a better industry. I think we have the best board, best organized real estate board in the world. I mean, but we can use a little more love. Yeah,
sure.
So we're going to wrap it. I'm going to thank Laura, Roberta. You didn't touch your wine, did you?
Yeah, I had a few steps.
Okay,
yeah.
I missed it. Cheers.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
We love you.
This was good. I appreciate you making the time, and it's fun, and your friends and family will see it and share it, and
hopefully lots of other people. Thank you.
Good to be
It was
here.
a lot of fun.
So we just wrapped up recording another podcast, and we're talking about the Supreme Handoff and what is it. My experience in almost 4 decades in real estate, organized real estate, is that realtors don't often treat our business as a business. And when we are winding down our business or our careers, we just walk away from it all. And I think that's unfortunate. We have a plan. It's called the Supreme Handoff. It's something that you implement, you monitor, you track, and you make money off of it. You carry on the legacy that you built. Just as importantly, we honor the clients and the relationships that we built and fostered over 10, 15, 20, 30, in my case, 40 years. The clients almost expect us to hand it off, and often we don't. Most often we don't. So if you want to get more information on this program, contact us at the office. We'll be discreet, we'll be confidential, and have a conversation. How do I transfer this? How do I carry on my legacy of my business onto someone else and honor and respect the relationships that I built, and I can make some money off of it and go on a perpetual vacation? For more information, give us a call. It will be discreet and confidential. Call myself at the office, 416-535-8000, or our broker of record, Lucia Macedo. More than happy to have a discussion with you in all strict confidence.